You've been asking for this for a while, and I finally had a few minutes and some breathing room to actually sit down and record Q&A. So, without further ado, welcome to episode number 1 of Stephen Hilgart's Wacky Question and Answer Time. Yeah, we're definitely going to need a better title for this. Question number 1. Is anyone actually using AI in their business? So look, it's July, 17th today, 2026 or 18th, whatever it is. You know, it's fascinating because AI is all over the news. It's all over, it's nothing but drama. It's all over the place. And a lot of people are starting to realize that AI isn't exactly the magic bullet they thought it was going to be. So companies that laid off thousands of people are in a lot of trouble now, and they're having to rehire people because they realize that it's not everything it was cut out to be. However, I think small companies are going to win this AI race way more than the big companies. Yes, there's going to be our big, giant, corpo rat overlords like Anthropic and OpenAI and all these guys who will control all of our data and all that good stuff. However, small business owners like you and I think we're going to be the ones to benefit the most. Because if we intelligently build our business around some of the automations, I won't say AI, I'm going to say automations. And when I say automations, I mean like, hey, if you run an ad on Facebook and someone types in their name and their phone number and email, you should not be sitting by your computer all day, every day, waiting for that lead to come in so you can text or email them, right? You should automate that inbound lead and send them something immediately, you know, a calendar booking, something like that. And it might sound silly, but most businesses still don't do that. I've been a marketing guy for 20 years, right? And I know that even as a marketing guy, sometimes I build an opt-in form and it doesn't go anywhere. And I'm like, oh shoot, I probably should be better at this, shouldn't I? But for small businesses, they should be automating almost all of their inbound inquiries. I'm talking Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, like the comments below. This probably should have some sort of automation. It doesn't right now, but if you go to my website, you go to scaleandsuccess.com, you go check that out, you go check out our software or whatever for marketing. If you fill in your information, you better believe that you're going to get some automated responses. There's a little chat bot standing by to answer questions and try to book appointments with you and all that good stuff. So the question is, anyone actually using AI in their business? The big businesses, I forget what the number is right now. It's like 93% of them are failing with their AI projects. Well, it's because the dumbasses didn't sit down to figure out what do we actually need this for instead of just use AI every day or you're fired. You got to sit down and say, okay, what do we really need automated? What is the repetitive task that happens over and over and over again? Like you and I, again, small business owners, we should be automating invoicing. We should be automating reminders. If someone doesn't pay their bill, hey, don't forget, here's the thing, here's a reminder, here's the text, here's the email. Those should all be automatic. And that isn't even AI again. But for small businesses, again, the big thing was using the large language models to actually help to create ad ideas and marketing ideas. I'm not saying you should copy and paste AI. I don't really think you should do that. It still needs some sort of a human touch. But I'm now able to do 10 times as much work in my marketing agency than I was ever able to do on my own. I had to hire dozens of people in the past to help me write copy and create emails and build websites and all this stuff. And nowadays I can do that all day, every day at the blink of an eye. So is it perfect? Absolutely not. But first draft, it's ready to freaking go. Question number 2. What's the best AI for creating business plans that don't sound totally generic? Well, listen, this is an interesting question because I don't believe in business plans. The old Mike Tyson quote was like, everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth, right? And that's exactly how business is. The Japanese have always had these like 100-year business plans. Like if you look at Honda or Toyota, you look at some of these companies, large companies, they've got like a 100-year business plan. Well, how much stuff has changed in the last 100 years? You know, we went from like horse and buggy to building rocket ships, right? I mean, there's been a lot that has changed over the last 5 years, 10 years. I mean, it's ridiculous. So I really, truly don't believe you can plan ahead. Now, my question for you would be, why are you building a business plan? You don't need a business plan to get into business. What you need is, Jim Rohn would say this all the time, is you need 2 bicycles, one to ride and one to rent. Now you're in business. But for the most of us, if you're just a freelancer just getting started, I mean, you can go on all these marketplaces and start selling services tonight, tomorrow. You can go on Upwork and Fiverr and Clutch and Guru and Alignable and like all this stuff and meet people and sell them services. So you don't need a business plan to be able to do that. However, I would suggest you do need a business model. And the difference between a business plan and a business model, business plan is like, well, in the next 3 years, we're going to do X, Y, Z, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. Now, I can understand if you're trying to raise money and you want to show someone a business plan, especially if you want a bank loan or something like that. But man, oh man, these days, I just don't think it's necessary like it once was. If you have a strong business model and you've got some kind of proof that shows you can sell this product, you can sell this service, there's a demand for it, man, you're in really good shape. You don't really need a business plan. So what's the best AI for creating a business plan that doesn't sound generic? Man, I don't know what to tell you. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, they're all great, but you need to be able to define what is your business model. And I've always said this, look, there's only 2 things you can sell, a product or service, that's it. So if you're ever gonna be in business, there's only those 2 things. Maybe you sell both of them, I don't know, who cares? But there's only 3 ways to sell those things. And your business model needs to either be one-to-one, where you sit down and have an appointment with people, you book phone calls, you book in-person sales meetings, whatever it is, but one-to-one or one-to-many, where you do presentations like I did for Tony, standing on stage and selling tickets or whatever. I would do presentations at the local business expos. I would do all sorts of stuff like that. Or maybe you just want to do a webinar. Maybe you want to do a video online. Maybe you're here on YouTube and you're promoting some sort of product or service that way, whatever it is. But that's the one-to-many business model. And then finally is the merchant business model. That's what I like to call it. But it's when you sell something on display, where you need to get your product on a shelf somewhere. So you need to go convince a retail store or start your own retail store, or you need to go get your product up on Amazon or Walmart.com or whatever it is. So again, 2 things you can sell: product, service. Only 3 ways to sell it: one-to-one, one-to-many, or merchant on display. And so that's basically your business plan. Here's what I've got to sell. Here's who's going to buy it. Here's how I'm going to sell it. That's how you make a business plan not sound generic, because it's not like, well, within the next 32 years, we're going to have a fantastic profit and loss statement, blah, blah, blah. That's never how successful people have gotten into business. Ask anyone who's successful in business, they just went. Did they screw things up? Absolutely they did. Ask me how I know that one, right? But most people just go start getting started. And Tony would always tell me, he's like, one of my things, my role for Tony was to go sell these tickets, right? To the big Unleash Power Within seminars. We do the firewalk and all that jazz. But it was so funny because we would be kind of cautious, curious, because every 3 months we'd basically start a new business over, right? He'd drop us in a random city. Here you are in Chicago. Here you are in Miami. Here you are in San Jose. Here you are in Hartford, Connecticut, wherever it is. And they didn't have like a list of leads for us. They didn't have ads running. They just said, go figure it out. So here I am, like the top trainer for Tony Robbins. I'm freaking door knocking. I'm cold calling. I'm walking up to people on the street, and I'm like really struggling, really trying to figure it out. I remember a small group of us just asked Tony, we got a little conference call with him. I was like, Tony, where do you start? He's like, grab a rock, wherever it is on the ground, throw it up in the air. And wherever that rock lands, that's where you start. You talk to the first person you see, and then you talk to the next person. I'm like, okay, there is some truth to that, isn't there? So you got your product, you got your service, start with how you're going to sell it, and then either start booking appointments and doing appointments, or you start getting in front of people and doing presentations, or you start getting your stuff on a shelf somewhere. That's how you create a business plan that actually works and is not generic. Question number 3, what AI tools are actually worth paying for as a small business owner? Hey, I like this one. This is really interesting. Here's one thing I would tell you, do not do no matter what you do. Do not pay for annual softwares right now, because every freaking week a new AI tool comes out that's better than the one that you're using right now. So you should not be trying. And look, I know it's tempting because you're using this AI tool and it's like, well, you get the annual discount, you get 20% off, you get 30% off, I can save a lot of money. But I'm telling you, like, look at just the difference between ChatGPT and Claude. Like each week, one gets better than the other and one gets better than the other. Now, I've got a subscription to both. I'm paying the $200 stupid dollars on both of those. And one week I'm like so frustrated with ChatGPT, like I can't stand it anymore. So I go back to Claude, and then I work on Claude, and then all of a sudden ChatGPT gets better. So look, what I'm trying to say here is no matter what tool you're going to use in your small business, make sure that you're paying for it monthly, and make sure that you have the ability to cancel it, because the new tool is going to come along. Now, with that being said, what tools for a small business are actually valuable? And here's what I would suggest. Number 1, anything that allows you to automate some of your inbound. We mentioned this before, but it's like if someone is going to message you on Instagram or Facebook or whatever from your Google business profile, they're going to send you an email, they should not have to wait for you to respond. So there should be some sort of automated response. I would say one of my favorite tools right now is ManyChat. This video is sponsored by ManyChat. Yeah, right. Like anybody would sponsor my dumbass. But so ManyChat it's like $25 a month, right? And you can link it up to your Instagram, your Facebook, whatever. So when someone messages you on there, you can either set up like a dumb response where it's just like, do you want this thing? Yes or no? What's your name? What's your email? What's your phone number? So it collects leads and you can drop it into an email autoresponder. Or they even have like now like an AI upgrade so it can have intelligent conversations with people and kind of answer questions and you can give it a knowledge base. I don't think you need all that, but I mean, hell, for $25 a month, that's definitely worth it to handle your inbound. Because look, it's not like you and I are on Instagram all day, every day. You know, especially if you're a service-based business, dude, you're out there working. Like a plumber makes money when they're plumbing. An electrician makes money when they're electrocuting people or whatever they do, right? So when someone sends you a message, if they don't hear from you immediately, they're just going to call the next guy, the next gal. People don't wait any longer. So I would suggest ManyChat. I love that tool. Another good one you might want to look at, I don't normally recommend voice bots for everybody, you know, but you might have a voice agent like ElevenLabs or Vappy or Retell. Those are three pretty good voice softwares that will answer the phone when you can't get to it. I don't think you should have AI answer the phone 24/7, but it should answer the phone after like 5 or 6 rings or whatever. So if you can't get to the phone, something picks up, answers their questions, and at least attempts to book an appointment or schedule an appointment or route people the right place, right? So I think those are two really valuable tools. Another one is obviously like, look, we all need a nice website builder. We all need a nice CRM. So although those are not exactly AI tools, it's 2026. There's no reason why you shouldn't have all of your contacts and leads and potential leads organized inside of a CRM somewhere where you can broadcast them, you can email them, you can text message them, you can do whatever else that you need to be able to reach out to them. Because I always tell people, hey, look, gun to your head. If you had to get a sale tomorrow, how would you do it? And people are like, well, I guess I would just email everyone. Well, that's cool, but if you don't have their emails, how are you going to do that? And that's what a CRM is based for. Well, then I would text message them. Well, that's cool, but if you don't have your phone number, like you can't broadcast the time. So you got to be able to organize all of that content. So I like the inbound automations. Voice, I'm kind of iffy, 50-50 on. CRM is like a mandatory thing. So, and look, you don't need to spend, you know, $12,000 a month on HubSpot because that's a piece of shit software anyways. But there's a lot of really great CRMs that are inexpensive, cheap. And now you can even code your own. Like you can use Claude Code or you can use Codex with ChatGPT or whatever. And you can just say, hey, I need a CRM. You can use Google Sheets for all I care, but you need something that helps keep you organized so you know who you talk to, who you need to follow up with, who you're waiting on, all of that good stuff. So those are some really good AI tools. I will give you a couple more that are really like for me, one of the big things looking at the social media stuff is scheduling. Like there's Hootsuite, there's Metricool. Those are pretty good tools. And I don't mean that you go get all of these tools all at once. Only get to them if you're actually going to take it serious and you're going to do it all the time. Otherwise, you just start collecting tools and you're paying monthly. And none of these are expensive. Like they're all like $10 a month or $20 a month or $30 a month, whatever it is. So it's not crazy expensive, but it is death by 1,000 cuts right now. So you got to be really careful in your business of like how many tools you're not using and you got to cut them. Like every month I'm looking at the credit card statement now and I'm like, oh, haven't used this in 90 days, gone. Haven't used this in 60 days, gone. Haven't used this in 30 days, gone. And we all kind of have that thing as an entrepreneur, don't we? Like, I'll use this. I sure will. And you just get busy running your life. So anyways, Metricool, Hootsuite for scheduling social media posts and promoting your stuff consistently. There's a lot of cool tools to find content ideas and stuff like that. But for the most part, you just need the basics, man. You need a CRM, you need a way to handle inbound inquiries, and you need a way to organize those things, right? So that would be it. So man, I really didn't think this is all going to be about AI questions today. I was hoping for some like marketing or mindset or strategy ones too, but listen, I hope this is a helpful start. So do me a favor, drop your questions down below. I want to answer your questions. If you're going to listen to me ramble here, you might as well get some of your stuff answered. So trying to be some tough ones so I can flex my muscles a little bit here on this new YouTube journey. And don't be afraid to be selfish. You'd be surprised that when you ask like a specific question about your specific business, how much it can help somebody else. So drop your questions down below and I'll see you tomorrow.